Hey, all of you out there in Eorzea, welcome to She Heals, I Tank, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Today is Friday, April 3rd, and this is episode 212 of the Shit Podcast. I'm your host, Vegan Pete. Always by my side, the whimsical...
Hey guys, Abigail here.
Did you like that one?
That was a little weird.
You're not whimsical?
I mean, no, really?
Well, thank you for being here, my whimsical nymph. Is that what a fairy is called? A nymph?
Nymphs?
I left off the O.
No, that's the root of... yeah, like, that's not really like a flattering...
Oh.
I mean, they're beautiful, but they're
the
also...
more you know.
Like, just... They were very sexual, and yeah, they were the nymphs. Like, everybody did it with the nymphs. It's kind of...
Yeah!
I guess you wish I was a nymph, is what you're saying. His whimsical quarantine partner.
Thank you for being here, Abby. And thank you to all you fine nymphs listening right now.
Oh my God.
Whether you're listening via the podcast, whenever I learn a new word, I just want to use it all the time.
Whimsical's a new word to
No,
you?
nymph.
Nymph is a new word to you?
I knew nympho, but I didn't know nymph.
Did you never read Greek mythology as a child?
I know Homer. Is that a Greek?
I mean...
The Odyssey?
Yeah, but...
I read that one.
That's
I don't remember any nymphs.
I'm positive there were nymphs in the Odyssey at some point.
I don't remember. Whether you're listening via the podcast, watching on YouTube, or joining us here live at twitch.tv/shehealsitank, we really appreciate your support. If you do decide to join us here live, you have the opportunity to make sure your voice and opinion are heard. You can type it in chat, or you can call in via Discord. All you have to do is join the Discord, hop in the On Deck channel, and then we will bring you to live on air. And you can let us know what you got going on, what you want to talk about. And if you guys do really enjoy the show, please consider subbing like these amazing people. And this week is a little longer list because this is the first episode of the month, and that's when I put all the resubs in. Because Twitch doesn't let you know like when the resub hits, so I just do them all at the first episode of the month.
You don't spread that shit out. You like bust your load at once.
It's like impossible to tell.
Just
I don't know.
Blow your load all in one go. Got it.
Why would I do anything different? We got first-time subs from Boskarasaurus, a.k.a. Boxcar Strauss, and Talon Broadband. Thank you. First-time subs. For 2 months, we have Erilyn and Unlucky Assassin. At 4 months, we have Slightly Dizzy and Sakura Storm 8312. At 5 months, we have Really Bad Professor, Allura for Real, and Not Papaya. 6 months, half a year, we've got Johnny Smith Apple, Whimsical Angel 394, and Disco Cub. And
wait, do you think Whimsical Angel's a nymph?
Probably. Most
Sorry,
definitely.
Whimsical Angel. I just had to. My husband's super confused.
And at 7 months, we have Rathok, Ursa Laser, and Mieko 14. You want to do the other half?
Sweecy 50 at 8 months. Raw Chicken Baguette, which is one of my favorite names at 8 months.
And Sweecy's tier 3.
Aninonicon and King of Nokos at 9 months. Mocha Jones 10 at 10 months. That works out kind of wonderfully. 11 months, we have Aurora 42 and Susan Sprinkles. Finally hitting that year mark is Chuckletopia. Congratulations on getting the super cute sub badge. That will probably be changed soon because I'm obsessed with drawing right now when I'm stuck at home. And 15 months, we have Ace Kaneki Overlord, 18 months Shinter, 19 months Super Nerd Dalton, 20 month Venjik, 26 months Aurori, 27 months Aja 30 months Sorceress 180, and rounding it out, 32 months is the Real Hot Chili Pepper. And I do want to point out that like the fact that you all are continuing to subscribe to our channel and our podcast and everything with everything going on within your lives and everything, and that you choose to still support us is amazing and wonderful, and we really appreciate and love all of you for it. So thank you so much.
Yes, so grateful for that. It really helps us out and keeps the lights on and keeps our spirits up. So thank you so much for that. And in case you didn't know, if you have Twitch Prime, you can link that to your Twitch account. If you have Amazon Prime, link that to your Twitch account, and then you can give a free sub to any streamer once a month. Doesn't have to be us. Just make sure you use it. Don't let it go to waste, okay? Like I said, it keeps our spirits up. It really does make someone's day when you subscribe to their channel.
It really does.
So if you want to use it on us one month, and then Moogle Go Round Radio another month, gather together, whoever, just make sure you use it. And I mentioned it, that you can call in, and that it's the first of the month. So what does that mean? It means you can call in for the community roundup, and thank you so much for that Twitch Prime sub. All right, let's see if I can get this name. Steggerrock is what I'm going with.
I like that. I don't know if that's how it is, but I like Steggerrock. Sounds like a dinosaur.
Yes. You can hang out with the Boxcarosaurus, Steggerrock. It's the first of the month, and we open up the community roundup to everyone on the first of the month. So during the community roundup, you can call in, you can promote if you've got something going on. Maybe you're starting a podcast. Maybe with all this free time that we have at home, maybe you're not working like me, or maybe you're working from home and you got a little bit of extra time because you don't got to spend an hour and a half in traffic every day.
Like me.
Maybe you're making some guides, maybe you're making some funny videos. If you got anything going on, you can call in during the community roundup and give a little shout out to whatever your project is, or maybe you have a friend that's working really hard on some projects and you want to give them a little shout out.
Hey, Pete.
That would be awesome of you as well.
So I've had spare time and I've been baking sourdough bread again. Can I call in and talk about that project? Does that count?
I don't think you know how to call in.
Well, you just said, like, I hit like 9 out of 10 of the requirements. It just wasn't necessarily like a project related to gaming or Final Fantasy.
I think we're all at a point in this whole situation that I'm willing to have everyone call in. If you're really proud about a loaf of bread that you baked, let's hear about it. What you got going on? You doing a little rye? You doing a little, that's the only type of bread I know.
I wish I had rye flour. Oh my God, that would be amazing. I used to bake bread before I was, because you guys know I was a baker, before my school stuff got a bit busy. So I was really excited to get back into it. And I just think it's hilarious that right now, like, baking bread is hardcore trending. And like everyone's trying to figure out and learn how to bake bread. And I'm like, oh God, and I'm not trying to be that I did it first person, because I feel like that. But I think it's adorable and I think it's wonderful. And if you have any questions, I have baked a lot of bread. I have a sourdough starter I can send and share with you. If you can't make your own, like, just DM us and we can help you.
Do you want some Avi sourdough?
Some IRL culinarian, because that's the only type of culinarian I know how to do.
KK saying can't get any yeast there. We actually had a brewery giving out yeast so people can bake all their own bread. All right. Hey, you Icarus.
Burley, you can totally call that in, sweetheart. I'm not going to read it. You should call that in because I think that's wonderful.
Call it in, baby.
Call it in. When we get to the community roundup toward the end of the show, give us a call.
All right. I think we got a good show for you today. A lot of stuff to talk about. Kinda. I don't know.
Not really.
If you guys want to call in, we need some content.
Not a lot going on.
But we'll start it out with everyone's favorite segment.
Trying to make the episode last really long.
Trying to stretch it out, baby.
Greenleaf Minute.
It's the Greenleaf Minute. And this week in Discord, I've actually gotten and on stream, actually, I've gotten quite a few questions about how I meld my crafting and gathering gear. And honestly, besides raiding, like my 2 raid nights, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I haven't been doing much in-game except I've been happy when people have been asking me to make them gear. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, I like doing that. I like feeling like I'm needed and can do something.
That's how I make my baby feel needed. I go, baby, craft me this gear.
Otherwise, I just stand around in game. I'm like, and what do I do now? Like, I don't know what to do in game right now. I think I need to start an alt or something. So people have been asking me how I meld my gear. And I first want to say that there isn't 100% way to do this correctly. You have to consider your gil and how much you want to put into this. You can go the route that gets you the highest stats that are a little bit overkill currently, but they may have you set up for the next set of recipes or nodes that are released. That way is expensive, though, because you're going to be blowing up a lot more pieces of expensive materia.
I've seen so many people be like, there's like 40 million gil down the drain. Or
yeah, I haven't had quite that bad of a run where it's 40 million.
Exaggerating because I don't do any of this. And by the way, Pete, chat is interpreting what you just said as free gear. So you guys heard it here. Contact Vegan Pete on Gilgamesh server if you want free gear.
I will craft you your gear. You gotta help out with some of the materials.
Yeah, you gotta give
mostly the sublime solutions. I can pretty much gather all the other shit. It will just take me a little while because they're timed nodes. But yeah, I don't mind making gear. I'll do that shit all day.
Okay, I know I said this last week, but seriously, seeing these emotes that I put so much work into makes me so happy every time someone uses it. So thank you, KK. You're like making my day right now. You really are.
So Broly and Mieko are definitely feeling my pain of blowing up materia.
Ooh, 20 million.
Throwing away 20 mil at your gear. Not even fully melded yet. So that's the expensive way. If you want to try to max out as much of your stats as you can, it's not quite as bad now because materia is dropping in price that now that extracting materia is a thing. So
yes, don't forget to do that.
Yeah, that way is a little more accessible because of extracting materia.
Remember, once your gear hits 100% spirit bond, you can extract materia from it. So if you haven't already, because this is something that I hadn't already done, is look at all of your gear. Like even if it's on your character, look at it. And if it's spirit bonded to 100%, extract that materia because you're not going to lose anything from that gear. You're only going to get materia from it and then build that back up and be able to extract from it again. Especially the gear you're currently wearing because that's the best materia you're going to be able to get because it's the highest gear.
I actually need to do a little bit of testing because I realized once I put the facet gear on my crafters and gatherers, it doesn't spirit bond nearly as fast as the one that was the one I replaced.
What's the facet gear?
The facet gear is like the best type of crafting and gathering gear that you have right now.
Oh, so this is like your really good hot pads.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
My very expensive knitting needles.
And my like linen apron. Like they're like your legit real stuff that you like love.
100%
makes you a better baker.
Correct.
Okay.
Now I forgot what I was trying to say. I have to test because like the facet gear spirit bonds way slower than the one right under that, and I was still able to get the best materia on occasion from the extracting materia from the lesser gear. So I think it might actually, and I was still able to gather from all of the nodes with the lesser gear. So I think I might put that on when I'm just gathering all the gear or all the materials, and then
Mieko FF14 just gave a really great quick tip. If your gear is at maximum spirit bond, then it shows as a white dot on your mini inventory grid. So that's a really quick way to go and look at that. That's super awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Nice. Most of mine comes when I'm gathering, so it gives you a message as well when it spirit bonds completely. So I make it a habit of anytime I see that message, as soon as I'm done gathering that node, I extract right there. I don't tell myself, go do it later.
Isn't there something from your squadrons you can get, like a scroll where it increases the time that stuff spirit bonds on you?
There is. There definitely is something to increase spirit bond. I don't remember if it was from the squadrons.
That was like the only thing from the squadrons I was never putting effort into because I never put effort into spirit bonding and doing all of that. But so don't forget about that, you guys. Like if you're already sending out your squadrons, or if you're not, it's seriously like minimal effort. And then that way you can use those essentially for free because Grand Company seals is all it costs you and not many to send them out.
Oh, is it Grand Company seals? I thought you were talking about squadrons.
You use Grand Company seals to send your squadron out.
Oh. Yeah, that's hardly anything.
I know, but that was my point. So I wasn't going to say it doesn't cost you anything.
I thought you meant it was like you were buying it with.
No, but you're paying your squadron with Grand Company seals, kind of.
I got you. I feel you.
But so make sure to stock up on those because it's a real easy way to make more gil because you can use that all the time and just get that material out of it.
So that's the first way you can do it. You can just use the best materia available to you for each meld and get as close to the maximum that you can. The other way is just doing the melds that get you to the minimum requirements to craft a recipe or gather from a node. You won't spend nearly as much on the melds. But when new recipes or new nodes come out, you might have to redo some of those melds to reach the new requirements. And I actually didn't write this down, but I should probably mention it. I try to meld all my gear sans the tools, so not your main hand or offhand.
So are you only talking like crafters and gatherers for this
Yes,
stuff?
crafting and gathering for this. I try to make I meld the gear that is shared between all the jobs really well.
Right.
And that way I only meld CP or GP onto the tools. That way when a new node is added, if I just need like a little bit more, I can just meld onto the main crafting hand or offhand, and then it's a lot cheaper.
Broly agrees and says that I do cheap melds for tools, and KK McLeod basically just told me to shut up and said that I got a glamour episode already. It was like a glamour topic, okay? And it was requested. So is overmelding really only for crafters and gatherers?
No, you will overmeld as well if you're a raider, most likely.
Yeah, I've been playing this game for years because it's starting to make me sound old when I say it. I don't think I've ever overmelded a single piece of gear.
Probably not, but
Ever.
Like if you're heading into a new tier, like a lot of these raid teams have a support system, and like they'll have crafters and gatherers to make them the newest gear on patch day, so they can go into the new Savage with the crafted gear.
So KK say now we need an old shit emote, but you know what? If you get an old shit emote, the Buscemi emote goes away. So you got to pick and choose.
Just like an old, faded, brown, crackly dingleberry.
Oh, I would give it a beard. It would have a gray beard. So if you want Buscemi to be replaced with old shit, which I think is actually really funny, it would be a shit with a gray beard. Be like a Ramu of the shithead emotes. Oh, come on.
Hit her
I
with
tied
the
it back
crickets.
to 14.
All right, so the second way you can do it, reaching the minimum stats, the only problem with that is you might not have the stats to do the new nodes or recipes when they come out. So I tend to go for the overkill stats that will have me set up for the future. Although when you have stats that are pretty overkill already, I will tend to skimp out. Like if I have 2 more pieces to meld, I'm like, well, I'm already over this. I'll use. So you can do a combination of the two. Like get your stats way up there, have like 4 or 5 pieces that are way maxed out, and then you can kind of skimp on the rest of the pieces. But regardless, if you go the expensive overkill route or the cheap minimum route, I always recommend capping CP and GP on each item. CP is so important in crafting. It's probably the most important crafting stat because CP basically determines how many abilities you're able to use in your rotation. And the more abilities you can use, the more chances you're going to have of increasing that quality and finishing the craft. And then on GP, it really affects what you're able to use for your collectibles rotation or your Aether Sand rotation. And you can actually meld enough GP where if you eat some food, you can hit 850 GP and give you an even better option for a collectible rotation. As for specifics for craftsmanship versus control and gathering versus perception, I will generally get craftsmanship up to just above the requirement and then max out as much control as I can. And for gathering, I usually get gathering where I'm at least close to 100% success rate on the highest node, and then the rest into perception. And I go to the Areala site to figure out and play around with the different melds. I recommend doing that so you know exactly what your stats are going to be at the end, and you won't find yourself having to remeld gear as much because you messed up and melded something onto the wrong piece because you're trying to do it by memory, or you're trying to do it from your chicken scratch that you wrote down on a piece of paper. Did you get that, Avi? Do you know how to meld now?
That was
Avi, can you tell me what an overmeld is?
riveting. That was like so amazing. I was completely paying attention to everything you said.
I guarantee you, there were ones of people who were interested in that.
I don't disagree with that at all. I do agree that I was not ones of them.
I'm hoping for tens, but definitely ones.
I do think it was important information. It just
No, I legitimately was getting questions of how I meld my gear. So.
I know. I'm not downplaying it.
I didn't make that up.
Oh,
Not lying to you.
It's not trying to be like, no, people really care. They really care. I just may have gotten really bored. And chat may have noticed. But I
Can you not listen intently with a a face that exudes excitement.
That's not as funny as me having a face where my eyes are going cross-eyed and I start cleaning out my fingernails.
All right. Well, because of that, I guess we'll just go ahead and get to your favorite segment. It's the tweet of the week. I think Avi was talking. I don't know if everyone heard that.
Oh.
It's the tweet of the week. It is the tweet of the week. And look at that. I got 100 bits for crafting. Crafting info.
I mean, I completely and utterly appreciate the fact that you enjoy crafting because you make shit for me.
Crafting's the most fun to do in this game right now.
So like,
just say.
So it's kind of like you're the in-game like crafter, and again, I'm like the IRL culinarian. So he's like, Bubba, make me this, and I usually, unless it's like ridiculous, go okay.
All right, what segment are we on, Avi?
I forgot.
It's the tweet of the week. Can't believe you just said that.
I knew you were gonna do it no matter what, so it didn't really matter.
Well, this week's tweet of the week comes from Discord. And it comes from Mieko, who DM'd me and said, "Hey Pete, wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about this during Furloughed or Friday podcast, but I wanted to make a PSA to everyone who plays Final Fantasy XIV to not go to any links that are being sent via Tells. Since the end of February, there seems to be quite a few accounts that were hacked, and it's increasing with people clicking links from Tells where it claims that they are trying to give out 5 million gil to anyone who goes to the site. Below is a screenshot of one of the Tells that I got in-game.
People are horrible.
Yeah, so I have got this Tell, actually.
Really?
I did, and it reads, 750 million gil giveaway starting now. Claim your free 5 million gil entry prize on our Final Fantasy XIV forum post, and then the link to it. And they go, Mieko goes on to say, from what I know, is when that you go to the link, chances are it's going to lead you to a fake Lodestone login site, which looks exactly like the legitimate site. If you log in, you would end up giving your credentials to the hackers, and your account becomes one of the zombie accounts that sends one of the Tells.
Aww.
So I saw this and I was like, I assumed it was a scam, and I didn't even click on the link. I didn't do any sort of investigating to it.
Somebody's like that chance of getting 750 million gil, you know, it's like, oh, well, the link looks promising. But, oh, the fact that it's, you know, it's the giveaway on it is, so the link is finalfantasy.xiv.com-yq.xyz/lodestone. That dash after the com is your giveaway that's not a legitimate link, because you will not see a dash after a com on a legitimate link. It will always be another backslash coming from someone who works in IT. So don't trust that. That right there says there's something fishy about that link to me. Like, if I saw this, you know, if that dash wasn't there, I'd be like, well, that makes sense. It's finalfantasyxiv.com/lodestone. Oh, wait, there's this weird bit in the middle there.
Are you telling me that nothing that says -yq.xyz is not legitimate?
I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying if you see a dash after a .com, that's not generally a traditional website sort of link.
Basically, people, you should realize that no one wants to give you free shit for anything, okay? So don't click on any link.
Well, people might think that they click it and then, oh, you know, I'll give them some information or whatever. And like, there's going to be some sort of thing, like a third-party app that tracks what I do on the internet, like the ads or something. But they're not going to expect the extreme of their account getting
Never
hacked.
give your account information to anyone. No. You know, Square Enix isn't going to give you free gil, so don't even give your
Nah, they'll make you like turn in a bunch of shit first, and then you'll get the free gil, or like walk around and talk to this guy and bring that guy a bag of seeds or whatever, and then
there is one person that will give you shit for free for nothing.
Chili.
That is the real hot chili pepper, but Chili will never ask for your login information.
He will not.
If you hear the kinda hot chili pepper and they want your login information, that's a fake chili pepper.
Yep.
You want the real hot chili pepper, he's never going to ask for your login information.
And if it says the real hot chili pepper -yq.xyz, that is definitely
Do not fall for the mild hot chili pepper.
It's not the real hot chili pepper, and you will not get free stuff. That was super cute.
All right, let's get on to news and notes from around the realm.
The special site for patch 5.25 has finally been updated. And the big thing that we're going to be getting for patch 5.25 is the new relic weapon series. We already know that the questline is what the questline is called, but as a reminder, it's Save the Queen, Blades of Gunhildr series. And the blurb from the patch 5.25 special site reads, for years, Baja, homeland of the Hrothgar, has remained at the mercy of Garlean rulers. But the empire has fallen into disarray, and the people of Doma and Alamigo have risen up to challenge their authority. The Bojans, while heartened at this news, yet lack the means to join the rebellion. To that end, they seek a standard under which their people may gather. A weapon of legend. ... Does
that mean anything to you, Avi?
I think it's going to be some fun story.
So it's going to be, we should get a decent amount of lore behind the Hrothgar for this one, which I think is pretty cool.
I mean, it sounds kind of interesting that, like, they basically the Hrothgar don't have a leader because they're trying to seek the standard under which their people may gather.
Wait, don't they have the queen? Aren't we doing Save the Queen?
I think that's what it is. But I feel like what it's going to be is that someone's going to, like, challenge the queen. So there's going to be the female Hrothgar. It's going to be the queen. She'll probably be the only one. And she's going to be being like, I'm the leader, bitches. And they're going to be like, but there's this swarmy little guy over here who should also be our leader. And it's going to, like, they're going to try to decide, or it's going to be the queen against the Garleans, which is way more simple, but it'd be really cool if there was, like, a civil element to it.
I think the Garleans are kind of fucked right now.
Well, I mean, you don't know. Things might happen.
They're in disarray.
With stuff and things with stuff. The dead guy who's not dead anymore, who likes to kill things.
Xenos?
The Echo. I know who it was. I was just being silly.
She's so good at this game. We got 2 new pictures for this, Avi.
Yes, we did.
First one is big building, and behind it, something that resembles what kind of like Dalamud.
It doesn't even, like, resemble Pete. It looks like exactly
But
like
how
it.
would it be that?
It's not exactly
Are
the
we
same.
getting a flashback? Rewind.
Are they gonna burn the world? I think that they're trying to trap something else. It's not. It's literally the same tech used. I don't.
How
think
many moons do we have?
You don't know? I don't know. Do you know? How many moons do we have?
27.
Ah, okay. We'll just steal one from a different area.
Julie says, well, this was the original home of Dalamud experiment, right? I have no idea. Maybe.
I'm gonna trust you on that, Chili. And in our next picture,
KK says, yep, that Citadel. So apparently the building in the foreground is the Citadel, and behind is Dalamud, or Dalamud Experiment. Dalamud 1.0.
KK's calling you out and saying that you did not pay attention to your Gunbreaker quests.
Dude, do I pay attention to any of the job quests?
Wait. He needs to fix that.
They
Does
get
Pete
fucking
pay attention
boring.
to anything?
I do. Like, since I started doing the podcast, I have started trying to pay attention. I don't always succeed. If they have, like, 3 paragraphs of boring shit to read, I'm like, oh my god, I'm out. Let's move along this story. There's too much goddamn filler.
You guys, Pete can't even read a book. He falls asleep.
I have read a book. I've been reading Urban Homestead.
It's my book. And
I'm becoming a botanist.
and oh, I was gonna say something, but that got me actually. We were watching the most recent Dev Diary, which we're gonna go into in a sec. And Pete was like, totally just stopped reading, and I was just watching.
Yeah, and I usually watch everything with subtitles because I don't hear that well. But sometimes I forget to read them, and I just start.
That's his excuse, guys. That's his excuse. I can't read. And I don't listen well. He says hear well, but it's
I don't
listen.
hear well.
I don't listen well.
Why else would I want subtitles on if I don't hear well? Because they add so much to the picture.
Oh no, I hate them. And our second image is of Sid lying on the ground holding his right titty with a
Damn.
face that looks like it might hurt a bit.
What happened to Sid? They
don't know.
better not hurt Sid.
And we know
Sid's my favorite
it's not
character
his
in the
left
game.
titty where his heart is. It's his right titty. So we know he's not dying. So he's okay.
Well, don't you usually clutch your right side when you have a heart attack for some reason?
No, I thought it was your left.
I thought it was like the opposite.
Your
or something
left
like that.
arm goes numb, and
I thought it was opposite day.
okay.
Yeah. What the fuck happened to Sid? Why is Sid laying on the ground?
Somebody hit him in the titty. Thank you, Ash.
You got a purple nurple?
So he's like, titty slap. And he's like, oh no.
Someone went all titty twister on him?
No.
New move from dancer, titty twister?
Titty twister doesn't take you down.
Do the twist. It's not what that song's about?
I don't think so.
Nero gave him the titty twister?
I mean, I can't blame him.
Icarus saying he got shot? He got shot by the new relic weapon?
There is no blood. They've liked blood in this recent expansion. I think if he got shot, there'd be blood in this image.
What?
I think he and Nero had a spat, and he's like, "Not my right titty, Nero."
What scenes do you remember blood in? Just off the top of your head.
Oh my god, don't do that to me.
Come on, do it. I know you can think of at least two. I thought of two when you just said that.
All right, you can share yours.
The first one I think of is when Hearts and Farts got killed. They shot the little thing at him.
Okay.
And he spit up blood.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there was blood for What's Her Nuts at the beginning of Shadowbringers.
What's Her Nuts at the beginning of Shadowbringers? You guys heard it here now. This is
I remembered
great news reporting.
Tesline.
Oh my god.
I think there was blood during that.
There has been actually quite a bit more blood in Shadowbringers. That's why I'm like, I don't remember all the scenes that it happened in, but there was definitely a lot more blood. Tesline vomited light. I don't remember there being...
Yeah, I know she vomited light,
but
she
she also got stabbed through
there was a little bit of blood
core.
at the very beginning.
So
we'll have to go back and watch.
Not sure.
Someone needs to fact check this podcast.
Now chat's gonna start throwing out all these scenes with blood in it, and they'll be like, "Oh look, all of these are in Shadowbringers. Avi was right, for once."
Kai Shear cutting his arm. Is that little cat boy?
Oh, don't re-traumatize yourself, Icarus. No one needs to watch the glitter vomit over again. Although, actually, I did kind of watch it again and then kind of cry again. What's Her Nuts met with Who's It, then they did a team up with the Thingies, and we did a thing.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Chili.
I am going to do a MSQ recap like that from now on.
All right.
Just What's His Nuts, Who's It's, team ups, and thingies.
I mean, I thought that's how you already did it.
You son of a bitch. Put a lot of effort into those recaps.
Except we stopped Shadowbring. We didn't even finish.
I know.
We're like, this is just too far into detail. I'm not enjoying this. All right. The final entry.
Wait, did we have any legitimate reasons of why we think Sid's down on the ground? I think he died of a broken heart.
It's the wrong side.
You didn't know that Eorzeans have their heart on the right side? It's in the Eorzean encyclopedia.
We need a ba-dum-pa soundbite. Oh, we do have that one. All right. There we go. Was perfect. All right.
Oh, Chili says wanker's cramp.
Oh, my.
Too much for the old ticker.
So moving off of that right titty of Sid, even as beautiful and glorious as it is, the final entry in the Dev Diary series has been released, and this one is called Building the Battles. So what did you think about this one, Pete?
I thought it was okay. I noticed that the stuff in this video that the lead designer said were experimental type stuff, I liked the most. They said that the second fight in the copied factory was a little bit experimental.
Because the 3 stages, yes. And they're circular with the phallic hanging robot in the middle. Yes, you have very experimental
3 circle platforms that each group is on, and you're fighting a giant penis in the middle.
Yes.
So it wasn't the exact same moves on each platform, so it's going to be a little bit different potentially.
They changed on the rotation and each platform's
potentially every time you go in.
Slightly different, yeah.
And I love that because it's not the same damn thing every time you go into that fight. And I like that one the most because it's fun, and I don't look directly at the penis. Never look directly at the penis. You're going to get hit from the back if you look directly at the penis, okay?
You don't want to look at it. It's true, actually. You want to keep the penis behind you. You don't want to look at it.
You want to look away from the penis and put your butt towards the penis. That's what you want to do.
But you don't want to look at it. So you just look away and then continue to hit it.
Put your butt towards the penis. Look away. and see what's coming from the back.
I mean, as a caster, you can't do that. So, like, as a caster, like, I gotta physically face the penis so that my spells will go off, but I gotta turn my eyes the other way. You
can't cast at the penis while you're looking away?
No.
I don't play casters, so I don't know this.
You gotta, I think you can turn that off, but yeah, you gotta look at it. So what you're doing is you're physically looking at the penis. Oh my God. And then you're turning your head this way and you're like, pew, 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 pew.
Yeah. Like, as a monk, I can just be hammering that penis with my hands. When you're monking it up, you're just giving that penis the hands.
You like got your butt facing it, and then you're like punching behind you.
I
don't know, how do you do it?
Put my butt on the penis, and I just give it the hands.
And punch it behind you.
I throw those hands as fast as I can on that penis. How did we not do this like the first time that raid was introduced?
This is organic.
Got to give the penis the hands.
And it just happened naturally. I think it all started because of Sid grabbing his right titty, and then we just went on from that.
So what I'm trying to say is I like that fight.
I'm sorry, I'm squeaking. I'm sorry.
I like that fight because you have to pay attention to where the penis is.
By not looking at it.
The other piece of content that they said was experimental, I believe this was part of the MSQ, when it was a little Indiana Jones style running from the boulder that was coming down. I think that was MSQ.
That was the, oh God, I remember that. My brain is not even going to almost catch up. It was the not Ridorana. God damn it.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Ridorana.
No, it was the tombs, and you were kind of.
It was the Ronkin tomb.
Ronkin,
but I think it was
like R word, and my brain went to Ridorana like a dummy.
I think it was part of the. I think it was part of the MSQ. I don't think it was a fight for anything.
Thank you for clipping that, Chili. That's kind of amazing.
And then the worst part about this video was they talked about the trust system for a bit too long, if you ask me. But I'm sure there's ones of you that
it took a lot of work to
really
make it.
like the trust system. It probably did.
So you found that annoying for them to talk about, but I felt like for them it was something that they put a lot of work into.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you put this much work into something that, like.
Well, it's for you, but some people really appreciate it.
I will recognize that there's some people who enjoy playing this game almost like a standard title or numbered
like
Final Fantasy game that's you're playing by yourself, and it's nice that they gave them that option, but like how many people are there?
And it does happen. The boulder does happen in an MSQ instance. Kitana Ravel. Thank you, Icarus and KK, our two lore guys. Really appreciate you.
Nailed it. And then they also compare some differences between designing Titania and the Innocence fights.
The extreme versions. I actually really like this. They talk about how like the Innocence fight is one of the few extreme versions where beating this fight isn't cognizant on everyone doing these mechanics together. You can someone can die and you can still beat it essentially. It's all individual.
That's pretty much every damn fight.
No, because Titania is more organized on you have to do this together. You have to position yourselves together, and these people have to be here, and those people have to be there in order to make it all work. Like there's more of a dance, like a group dance, instead of just the individual solo kind of thing.
Okay.
I thought that was probably the most interesting part to me.
That's what they said. I don't know if I agree with it.
Well, so the Innocence fights, I don't remember who designed the Innocence fights, but I know that it was a new person designing those. So it was a different approach to designing the fight itself. And so that was why it was done so uniquely.
Something that I did like was when they were talking about designing for the ultimate raid, so the one step up from Savage. Yes. They thought really hard about who they were going to put in charge of that fight. They needed to have the experience, and they thought they needed to have like a little bit extra. It wasn't just experience. You couldn't be just the most experienced person on the team to design the ultimate fight. You had to have a little chutzpah, little something to you to get put on the ultimate lead. And the lead battle designer said once they picked the person to design the ultimate fight, he made sure to really leave them alone and let them design it on their own. He didn't want to have too much input and force this person to fit into a box that he was expecting or anything like that.
Right.
He wanted them to like design their own fight, which I thought was really cool.
I like
he wasn't
that
micromanaging.
I like that they go, we believe in you. You've been given this task. We believe that you have the capabilities to do so. They would kind of go over their ideas, what they were thinking, the direction they wanted to take it. And they're like, okay, cool, get it there.
Get it there. Get it across the line.
All right, Pete, one of your favorite things, season 15 of
hell yeah.
The Feast.
Like chili, I just creamed my pants for season 15 of The Feast.
I can't believe we're already on season 15, honestly. Like, that stands out to me more than anything else.
Because it feels like no one does it.
Yes.
I
still love the chess piece that you get from it.
Season 15 of The Feast is starting soon. It will commence on Tuesday, April 7th when, did we even mention this? Patch 5.25 is coming on April 7th.
That's the day it goes live. We talked about it. I don't think we...
so I don't know if we said the date or not.
It's April 7th, which is in 4 days from when we're talking right now.
Yeah, so Tuesday, maintenance will start on Monday night. So that's when patch 5.25 will go live.
That's perfect time. You got it's a little late time. We need some gosh darn relic farming-ness.
Yes.
Something.
It's coming next week.
As long as it's not in Eureka.
I thought you were about to be like, God damn, we need some feast. I'm like, really? You think so?
I'm so hungry, you guys. All I do is sit at home and wear sweatpants and eat.
So...
That's not a lie.
Yeah, it's not a lie. Top ranking players will receive special rewards. So keep an eye out on the rankings page to see who claws their way to the top.
Ooh.
Initial Season 15 PvP rankings are determined by the pre-season tier placement. And Square Enix also posted a notice regarding free companies this week. It reads, recently, we have seen an increase in the amount of feedback regarding free companies, including discussions surrounding gil and items being taken without intended authorization or the free company itself being taken over.
Oh.
Blame
That's
your
really
FC
cool.
leaders for these permissions.
No, I mean, I've talked to some people that it has happened to. It's pretty shitty.
It continues, many of these cases involve the abuse of certain powerful permissions that were granted to the default rank that new free company members are assigned to.
Yeah.
While the development team is considering making changes such as limiting the permissions granted to new member rank, due to the complexity of these processes, implementation may take some time. In the meantime, we suggest that free company leaders pay close attention to the features of the permission system before assigning them to specific ranks. When assigning permissions, please keep the following in mind. New members are always assigned a specific rank when they join. By default, this rank is named members unless it has been changed by the free company. Permissions such as promotion/demotion and full access to the company chest should be granted with caution. In order to keep resources safe, we suggest that players pay close attention to the features of the free company permission system, especially when recruiting new members.
So I feel like this is what they're responding to is definitely like use common sense. So RFC, we have like a trial period for the lowest member. And once you prove you're actually playing the game and you hang out and stuff, you actually become a full-fledged member, which still has, less permissions than other ranks within the FC. But I know that people have had issues with this with people who have been in the FC for a while. And so they were people that they trusted. I think the issue was less like them having the permission to take the stuff and more like, how do we get our stuff back? Or how does that person get punished? And I think that was the issue that people wanted addressed, that Square Enix didn't interpret it that way, or at least didn't respond to it that way. Because I haven't heard a lot of, maybe there's been a lot of stories of new players coming in and stealing stuff, but in all honesty, if that happens to you, that is your fault for not managing the ranks of your free company. New people who come into your FC should not have access to your company chest. Yeah. You don't know them. Like, you want to know people before they have access to the items and the elements and the gil and stuff that you've earned as a free company. So that is definitely common sense. But I definitely have heard issues about it happening with like relationships that have soured.
Yeah, and I don't run our free company now. It's the other Peter from Maelstrom Radio.
The other Meat Pete. He says that because he goes by Meat Pete when he talks about vegan Pete. So he goes the other.
I know he likes to be
the other Pete.
He doesn't want his character name. He wants his real name.
Yeah.
So,
Meat Pete from Maelstrom Radio.
I forgot what my point was going to be.
You
now.
don't have to run the FC anymore?
Yeah, I don't run the FC, but when I did run our FC, I had like a combination. I was both like letting people do whatever the hell they want, but I was like a benevolent dictator, I guess. Like
I think that's actually a really good description for any FC leader because of the way the permissions work. Like not all your officers can have the exact same permissions.
Because when we did it, I didn't really have officers. I didn't really want officers. I wasn't really looking for any sort of ranking system.
Right.
Basically, if you joined the free company, you were able to take stuff from the FC chest, everything except Gil. I had it so people could not take Gil, but the FC chest was basically put whatever you want in the FC chest that you don't want, and anyone can take from the FC chest if they want it.
So now we have it more locked. Our FC is actually kind of similar to that. We have officers, but it's very few. Just to keep drama and people wanting to be officers. It's just literally a few of us who manage it, and then we've got people who want to do workshop stuff. And if you want to be part of workshop stuff and you've been around, you get a bit more permissions. And otherwise, it's basically members and new recruits. And the company chest, we have, I think, like certain tabs of it open, but the other tabs are locked down for like giveaways and stuff that we'll do. And you can put stuff in, but you can't take stuff in.
And say, that's how I did it. I had there were no ranks. There was everyone and me as the FC leader, just so we didn't lose our house or anything like that.
You say that, but there were ranks.
No, there weren't. We didn't have officers.
Okay, I didn't help you run that FC
we didn't have ranks as in like anyone had any more permissions than anyone, but I tried to have people who would like lead.
And you say that, Pete, and honestly, all of the leaders, the Democratic people that you're trying to see as leaders, had more permissions than the members.
They didn't.
They did.
No, they not in the FC permissions. They did not.
They did, and they need to.
No, look, I'm saying how it's set up, when I did it.
Okay, that's fine. We don't need to talk about this.
And then I will say, and now I don't run an FC anymore. So take that with a grain of salt. It's not probably not the best way to run it.
No.
But I ran it so everyone was basically equal, and then anyone that had a different rank. Basically, it was because you were leading something, but I didn't give them any more permissions than anyone else. 100%.
Okay.
It's a moot point. Last thing we have in the news is from the dev tracker from Kiwi Kopo. And they said, we received numerous reports stating that players were unable to discard the extra writ of beautification, and writ of commendation awarded by ranking in the top 12/100 with several classes. This is from the Restoration of Ishgard rankings.
So it's writ of beautification. That was just spelled wrong.
And I copied and pasted, so I didn't type that wrong.
I know, I'm just telling you.
We're going to make this possible in patch 5.25, so please bear with us just a bit longer. We would also like to apologize for some MOG letters being sent in the incorrect language. Rest assured, however, that the items you received are the correct ones.
All right. There were a few misspellings in that, so yeah, that wasn't your fault.
It's never my fault.
Always your fault.
All right. Now we have... What do you want me to get right this week, Avi?
So this, if you've ever taken a standardized test, sometimes you see those questions where it says match the items in column A with the one that appropriately associates in column B.
Are these the ones that always like have news stories done about them because poor people don't know about certain things and it's like really unfair?
No, that's based off of the topic, not the format of the question.
Okay.
I don't even know why you went there.
Let's see.
So this week's question is match the beast tribe with the summon.
Okay.
So do you want me to see if you can say it without my giving you the summon?
No.
If you can tell me who it is first, I'm going to read the beast tribe and see if you can tell me.
All right, let's try that first. We'll see if I can get any.
Amalja.
Is that Ifrit?
I don't know. Is that Ifrit?
Are you going to tell me yes or no?
No, I'm going to tell me if you give me that as your answer.
All right. As of right now, I'll say Ifrit.
No. Is that Ifrit? Is that your answer?
I can't even remember all of them right now. So as of now, Ifrit
It's not going to be
is my
counted as
answer.
wrong if this isn't it. Like the whole thing. Like
Yes, Ifrit.
yes, that is correct.
Jesus Christ.
The sylphs.
Beard nuts. His name is Ramu.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right. The Sahagin.
That would be Leviathan.
The kobolds.
Titan.
The Mughals.
King Mog.
And the Ichal.
Garuda.
You are right.
Nailed it.
You got all of them right.
Did you think I was going to struggle on that one? Did you think I was going to ride the struggle bus all the way in?
I didn't think it would be like struggle bus all the end, but I didn't think we would get it that quickly. So, good job.
See, I pay attention every once in a while.
Yes. So now I feel like I have to like update all this. You talk while I update my little, because people can read this now. So I got.
Well, I don't really have that much of a discussion for this week because it's been a really weird week. This was the first week that I was on furlough. I haven't really felt like playing that much because I've been focused on like keeping busy other than just like playing more. One of the things in my head was I don't just want to play more Final Fantasy just because I'm not working. So I've been doing a bunch of other things. And so other than raid, I haven't done that much. Like I crafted a little bit of gear for people this week. But other than that, it's pretty much just been raiding.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how this week has been for you, Avi, because I think this was your first full week from working from home, right?
Yeah, because last week I worked like a half week from home, and I still had to kind of go in a bit.
And you probably thought you were going to have maybe a little more time to play, but you weren't really feeling like logging on either, because I feel like I don't know, it can be hard, like it can be both comforting and hard playing an MMO where you're communicating with people all the time. And MMOs are definitely a thing where you don't know what your experience is going to be day to day.
Mm-hmm.
If you're running roulettes and you just want to relax and then you get an ass hat in your roulette, like that can really fuck up your day. So it's like, I don't know if I want to take that chance today. Maybe I want to play a little more Dragon Age Inquisition today.
You're literally just saying everything I've talked to you about, and now I have nothing to talk about.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna talk or not.
You literally just like took every single one of my topics.
I've just been vamping
and talked about it.
Well, you didn't write anything down.
I thought you were gonna ask the questions and then we would talk about it.
All right, how have you been?
By the way, Pete is not good at conversational podcast. He needs to have his notes. And this was less conversational, and he's like, I'm gonna take every bit of conversation that said to me, and I'm gonna own it.
I'm like trying to set you up. I'm like, jump in.
You literally
jump in.
I was like, oh, that was my topic. Oh, that was my topic.
All right.
So Pete, you want to know how you set somebody up? So what have been the challenges in the game for you in wanting to log in recently?
Okay. Go.
I just asked you that.
Are you asking me that, or that's what you wanted me to ask you?
No, I'm asking you that. I'm making conversation.
What are the challenges in me logging
for
in
you
this
logging
week?
in?
I basically already said that. I said I didn't want to replace the work time that I'm missing out on with game time.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing projects around the house, keeping busy that way, making sure everything is taken care of so you don't have to do that much after you're done with your work day. I've been doing a lot of household stuff, and I just don't want to play the game 24/7 because I know that's something that I can do. I can lose myself in the game, and I don't think that's healthy for me.
I do know that. So like Felicia Day, I'm a big fan of Felicia Day. I actually haven't read her new book, but her previous book, everyone's weird on the internet or something, called something like that. She talks about her addiction to World of Warcraft. And I was addicted to Final Fantasy 11 actually at one point in my life. So it's something I have to be very conscious of. And I kind of remind myself, and I'm not going to say anything negative. This is obviously a gaming podcast. We love the game, but that like everything you make and everything you create in the game is literally ones and zeros. It's not actually a tangible item. So that's something.
That's why I always say, whatever you buy from the Mog Station is gone eventually.
Right, but that's something I like kind of want to I kind of try to keep in my mind now because I was addicted to a game before it, that escape and that control. And I feel like right now because I'm working actually really hard at home right now. I do IT support and helping people when they're trying to work on their home computer versus our controlled network is definitely different.
That's been another part of my duties as I remind Avi to take a break.
Yeah, yeah, it's been good. But so when I get off work and I've been on the computer, or I've been on the phone, or I've been doing all of this stuff, I just I feel the need to be physically productive in some way or to completely shut down. There's like no in the middle for me right now. I either want to go into the kitchen and make something, or I want to watch a stupid TV show or movie and not think about the world. That's kind of where I've been at.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot to be said for the process of getting up, taking a shower, getting dressed, and then driving to work. Like, it feels like a separate thing. It feels like you're doing something already just from that. Mm-hmm. And now when you just wake up, roll out of bed, start like 15 minutes before your work time starts, and then you just start working. You don't have to do anything before that. Basically, you start some coffee or something like that. And it feels like you're just doing one thing all day, and you have to really tell yourself to take breaks. And like previously, you had been working in the living room. Today, your laptop wasn't connecting to the Wi-Fi because it needed updates and all this jazz or whatever. So you had to work from the office, and the office is where you game. So you've been sitting in your gaming chair for 8 hours.
Right.
You don't really feel like playing the game after that.
No, I have been playing like a bit of Dragon Age Inquisition. Pete kind of mentioned that. So it's like, you're literally taking every topic I had. Which is, you guys have heard me talk about it in the past. It's the game that like I always wanted to finish, and I never finished it. And I realized it's because I always play. I know Julie Paul wants to see your character. I know, I haven't forgotten. I haven't logged on the past couple days. But during the quarantine, I actually realized that I feel like part of this time is you wanting to finish or do things that you haven't done. And so finishing that game for me is something that I just haven't found the time to do. And so I actually went and ordered Best Buy curbside to go of an Xbox controller to plug into my PC, because I've always played this game on Xbox, and it is not a good game on keyboard and mouse, in my opinion. It's definitely designed for controller. So one of my favorite things in quarantine was the day I rode my scooter to the Best Buy and got a controller. Like, that was awesome. It was a really good day. But
I just a little PSA really quick. People, you need to get out of the house. Like, yeah. I really see it with Avi. At the end of the day, if I don't get her to go out of the house and take a break, she's testy.
Yeah, I was not in a good mood yesterday.
She's not in good moods. I'm like, why don't we get out, get a little bit of sun?
Well, so like with my work, my boss has pretty much said to us that every email or every correspondence needs to have a response within 15 minutes. So I can't leave my computer.
No, dude, I would never settle for that. I'd be like, I would tell my boss, this is my lunch hour every day, or my lunch half hour.
I do. I take my lunch break, but my lunch half hour is like a half hour. And then, but if you're cooking your food, that's technically half an hour. Like, by the time you're done cooking your food and you want to eat it, it's about half an hour. So it is a tough to find that kind of like dynamic to make it all work, I guess. But I told Pete I appreciate him having me get outside. I actually really wanted to go for a walk after work today, but we needed to put some more effort into the outline, so I didn't have a chance to like do that. So I've been a lot more sedentary than normal, and I'm sure my waistband is feeling that as well. And I'm also trying to not be hard on myself about that, because I'm not alone in that. I know that, and I don't need to be. This is a traumatic thing that like the world is going through right now, and I don't think on top of all of these emotions that I'm feeling and all of this stuff that's happening, I know it's not our podcast, but like, how do you not talk about it? I also don't need to shame myself into feeling guilty because I'm eating to comfort myself I'm drinking to comfort myself. I mean, shoot, everybody's drinking more. There's actually been studies on that, like put out, like numbers put out.
Everyone's stocking up.
Everybody's stocking up. And so I'm doing my best to make sure to not also shame myself on top of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, no reason to feel down about what you're going through. It's a hard time. Like, even if you haven't, lost your job or anything, it's a big adjustment just working from home. So if you're feeling weird, if you're feeling like something's just not right, there's nothing wrong with you. That's just a normal feeling to a big change in your life. Luckily, like, this was the first day that I was feeling kind of down in the dumps about everything. Mm-hmm. Before that, like, every day was amazing for me. Like, like I said, I was not replacing any part of my workday with games. Yeah. I think KK was actually asking if I'm logging in less overall since I've been furloughed.
Yeah.
And I think
I definitely am.
Probably I have been logging in less overall. Basically because I didn't want to just like get stuck in the games. I was afraid of that. Yeah. So I've been.
It's an escape. It's that wonderful.
I've just been doing projects around the house.
Wait, Pete, you mean you don't want to like become one of the Animal Crossing people?
I've never played any Animal Crossing game.
Love that.
I'd love to give it a shot
for people.
Just a Nintendo Switch isn't in my budget at the moment.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd love to have a little casual game like that to play. I think my thing with Final Fantasy right now is just it hasn't seemed like that much for me to do right now. Like, I'm progressing on Raid, Savage Raid, which is what I enjoy the most out of the game. So I'm always logging in for Raid now. Mm-hmm. But the new Restoration of Ishgard didn't really do it for me. I don't really give a shit about the scratch-off tickets. I don't care about getting on the leaderboard.
Right.
And I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying it's not for me.
I think that's been not troubling. That's been difficult for both of us because I've kind of been on that track for a while. I feel like I'm not super into like the higher end raid stuff, which you're still enjoying, which I think is wonderful. But everything else just feels like gathering more amounts and gathering more glamour items.
It definitely
gathering more, like it's like collecting of things, and I'm not a collector of things, so it's difficult for me.
In the whole scheme of like this patch, it's been like really slow for like our typical content.
I've said, it's the crafting and gathering patch. Like that's what this is.
Like if they would have added the relic weapons in at the beginning of this patch as well, I think that would have satisfied some people a little bit more. I'm definitely looking forward to the relic weapons being added next week. I'm really hoping that we get away from the Eureka style of things.
How are you going to feel if the new relic weapons implemented and so Chili's saying it's a new trial. He keeps saying it's a new trial. I've seen him type this a couple of times.
So if it's just like one new trial, like what's the first step of the A Realm Reborn relic? Just the Chimera trial?
I think so. I don't really remember. But I mean, it's the initial element of it isn't what really matters. It's the like, what do you have to do over and over and over again to get it? Are you going to do that same fight over and over again?
Yeah, I don't think they would do the same fight over and over again. Yeah. I wouldn't mind Miyako saying it was Chimera and Hydra for the first relic.
I remember that. That's the fight he
If we went back towards a Realm Reborn style relic where we had to do fates and stuff, I wouldn't mind that, to be honest.
Chili is saying there will be a new Eureka style relic grind in the next step. So it's going to be according to Chili, it's a trial and then Eureka grind. Well, so that was actually my question, Pete. So you're like you're putting all of this like energy and hope essentially into like a new relic. What if it ends up being, Eureka again?
If it's Eureka again, I'm not going to do the relic. I mean, I didn't do the last relic, so I wouldn't do this relic, and I'll be disappointed, and it's going to prevent me from logging in as much. I'll log in for raid. I'll log in to help people. Like last night, we didn't have our full raid group there. We had 6 out of 8, and we're like, hey, we don't really want to prog with only 6 of 8. Let's try to get someone their clear on Ruby weapon. So we did Ruby weapon and got 2 people their first clears.
Nice.
So I have fun doing stuff like that.
That's good.
But like if you're just gonna add another Animos type thing, like Animos was fun for 1 week, and then after that it was like, okay, so we have basically what is a hunt train, and the thing about it is people just want to go as fast as they can, as quick as they can to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like almost like a stressor. And you get stressed out doing it because you're like, can't we just like kick back and relax a little bit?
Like you have to
why
keep
are
up
we
with
doing?
those
Why are
setting
we
the
going
pace.
so fast? Like,
Yeah, because that's how people play.
Icarus is saying maybe help for treasure maps. I do enjoy treasure maps, but honestly, after about like 6 treasure maps, I'm kind of burned out on treasure maps.
Yeah.
So I can do a full group of treasure maps with everyone doing one map, but once it gets like too long on the treasure maps, I'm like, I'm tired of this. Like, and then I'm like, okay, if we do it a couple days later, it's just like one long play session of treasure maps that I'm not all in on. And I think another thing that I think this is what KK was trying to say in chat is with only one dungeon per patch, it definitely seems like we're not getting as much on that end. And Extreme Roulette doesn't seem as fun because you're not getting as many dungeons in there. I think the trials are really where we get the most bang for our buck.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wish they would focus. I wish, like, instead of, I don't know how long an extreme trial fight takes compared to a new dungeon. Like, if there's not that much difference, I would prefer if they would throw in another extreme trial every now and then. That's what I would want.
That makes sense. Chili says about 6 months for a trial, he believes.
Yeah. Icarus says, yeah, the expert roulette is kind of meh, and I've only done Ruby once, haven't even bothered with the extreme version. The extreme version is fun. I think it is a well-designed fight. The only issue I would have is since it is broken up into 2 phases, I wish you had the option that if you continued to fight, because most everyone now, if you beat the first phase, everyone just goes into the wall and dies for the second phase to get all your cooldowns back.
Right.
I wish they gave you the option where you could beat it without dying, like keep on going. And if you do it, you get 2 totems instead of 1 that you can eventually turn in for things.
Yeah.
I think that would kind of be interesting and a little incentive because it just feels kind of dirty. Like when you get to that second phase and then you just run into the wall, it doesn't feel good. I don't like it.
All right.
I'm probably on the minority on that.
You're allowed that. I think as a healer, it's like, oh, thank God.
But yeah. As for keeping busy during this time, I've been filling it with IRL stuff, and I haven't really felt the urge to log in more to the game. I do wish there was something. I wish the challenge log was actually kind of challenging. Like, I wish there was.
You want to change the challenge log?
I just wish there was something to do, like to challenge myself a little bit that I could do solo. Like, I challenge myself solo. I like to see what kind of like extreme trials, like the old extreme trials that I can do unsynced solo. That's fun to me. I wish they would add some sort of achievement or stuff, or like speed runs. That would be fun.
That's difficult because what one person enjoys doing solo isn't necessarily what somebody else would enjoy.
Yeah, but it's like it's not even like they have to add that much to it. It's just like, okay, try to get this done in this amount of time. Try to get this done solo.
It's still effort. I mean, the fact that they still don't even, the Viera don't even have the unlocked hairstyles that are already in game, and some of them would even clip, doesn't mean they're gonna have time to do stuff like that. Like they have stuff that people are actually asking for other than you before they would start adding things that just you want.
All right. So, are there any other games you've been playing other than Dragon Age, Avi? Anything you've been enjoying in these times?
Not enjoy. I honestly haven't been a very big fan of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
I know I'm the minority, I guess, on that.
Like maybe some of you that have been listening for a while are like, oh, she's probably just playing ESO with her time off. She's not playing ESO either.
No.
Like, she hasn't been into MMOs that much. Like she's probably logging in more to Final Fantasy 14 than ESO nowadays.
I was playing Kingdom Hearts 3, and Kingdom Hearts 3 is getting on my nerves because I really hate that, like, in that game you get like some new ability that you get to learn how to use on this new world, and then that stacks on top of all of the other abilities that you have, and so you never actually get good at any of the abilities that you have, and everything is so overpowered that you just use all these overpowered abilities, and it just it makes me mad Like, it's not like a fun, calming experience. I'm like, oh, now I gotta fucking sail a damn ship, and oh, I gotta fight this. Okay, so all this shit I just learned on the last world doesn't fucking matter. I just gotta do, okay, fuck you, game. Like, it makes me mad. So I've actually taken a break from Kingdom Hearts 3 because it literally, like, rages me a bit. I really don't. I like to have the game where you get the abilities and you get better at them and you use them, and then as you go, you become a stronger player in that game. And Kingdom Hearts 3 just does not give a shit. They just like, let me throw everything in your mom's shoe in the kitchen sink and your dad's cat, and then blah, 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 and the dad's cat is way stronger, so you're only gonna use dad's cat. And I hate it. I'm mad. I'm so mad at Kingdom Hearts 3. It kind of started from the beginning, and it's just like this anger about how the game plays. It's just only grown, and the story for me personally hasn't been enough to like make up for how mad the gameplay makes me. So I'm taking a break from that to try to. I'm doing some Dragon Age Inquisition.
Because it definitely seemed like you were trying to get through that game, and then it just got a little too much for you.
Then I got to the goddamn Pirates of the Caribbean world, and then everything I'd gotten before was fucking out the window, and the whole gameplay style changed again. And I was just like, and then I looked up how many worlds, I got like 2 worlds left, and I was like, so none of this shit matters. None of it matters. It's just, made me mad. Made me so mad. So
just a reminder.
It's like completely a button mashy game.
Reminder,
no skill.
That anyone that wants to call up for community roundup should hop in that on deck circle now if there's anything you would like to promote. Because we don't have that many more topics to get to. I think our last one is Animal Crossing, Avi. Has this time made you want to play Animal Crossing?
So it did. Then I played Stardew Valley because I know it's kind of a similar type of game. And I realized I'm a weirdo, okay? Like, I'm sure all you guys are disagreeing with me on Kingdom Hearts. But when I was playing Stardew Valley, again, that whole zeros and ones thing that I talked about before, it made me feel guilty for tending a virtual garden. It made me feel guilty for, like, going out and talking to these virtual people. And I'm like, I should be calling my mom. I should be calling my best friend. We could do video chat and have coffee in the morning. Like, I should be baking. I should be, like... I literally just feel guilty doing these virtual things because Pete and I are so lucky to have a house and have property and have the ability to like do all of these things. So like I don't know, I can't do those games because I feel guilty that like I'm not actively bettering my situation.
You guys can call in to promote whatever you want.
Yeah, you guys don't have to ask permission. Just call in.
It's the community roundup. It's the first episode of the month.
Yeah, just get in that on deck channel.
All right, I've watched some streams. I watched Chili stream some Animal Crossing. I've watched Hyperpixie stream for Animal Crossing. And while I would like a game that's just kind of relaxing like that, it doesn't look like a game that's going to hold my interest for that long. I haven't played any of them,
right?
So it's just not my thing.
Yeah, we're both a little too old for the Animal Crossing. Like, we weren't playing that when we were kids. Like, we were adults, I think, when that first came out. So we just kind of missed that.
And KK's asking for a baking stream. I know we owe you 2 of them. Avi's hip just started getting better, so it's a possibility in the future, but we're also trying to find out a better setup that we can do it without having to destroy our whole office setup to get it into the kitchen.
Bad. Could do a sourdough.
We
could do a sourdough stream, you guys, where it literally starts the night before, and then we just pause and then come back. And now I'm gonna fold the bread.
We get a very angry.
We'll be back in 15 minutes.
Angry Pete when I have to move everything.
Yeah, he was super hangry.
All right, so first person on deck for community roundup partner we have is Broly 489.
Right, from what I understand.
Broly, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good, Broly. What do you got for us today? How are you doing with this whole situation? You doing good?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I've worked for UPS, so we're still working. As long as you're not terribly sick, like you're still expected to show up regularly.
Okay, you're on the front lines.
Well, our workload has suffered a little bit.
I bet.
Well, we've been shipping a lot of toilet paper.
I've actually been. So, just because you work for UPS, I've actually been trying to order less items to be shipped to the house in the mindset that I should do more like curbside pickup stuff. Do you think that's a good mentality to take with this?
It depends on how fast you want it to arrive, because UPS and USPS, from my understanding, has been prioritizing like essential retailers over residential.
Right.
And so, like, if you order it through Amazon, you're probably gonna end up waiting longer than 2 days than you normally would.
Yeah.
Like I was just looking, it could take up to a month to get something that you would normally get right
Ooh,
away.
I think that's good actually. I was more so thinking about like the people who work for UPS and who work for FedEx who are overtasked right now and who are just exhausted. And so if there's something I can buy that I can physically go and pick up from the warehouse or the store, I know they have the warehouse shipped to them, I would try to like minimize that. That's kind of my efforts.
Yeah, I mean there's been kind of a balance in just like a lot of drivers have seen a decrease in stops on their trucks. And in case you don't know, like drivers, they measure their workload by how many stops they have to do in a day. And so like 250 stops is not abnormal for a single driver.
Wow.
And some drivers have gone down to as low as like 150. Some drivers have gone up to 300. 300 is considered a heavy day.
So it's all like the neighborhood in the day.
Yeah, it just depends on where their route takes them.
Okay. Sorry, I was like, oh wait, let me ask you this thing I've been wondering about.
Oh no, not at all. I don't mind talking about it. I'm actually waiting for them to call me to take the class to become a driver.
Oh, that's exciting.
So, yeah.
That's a great company to work for.
Oh yeah, the benefits are amazing. My health insurance and stuff finally kicks in 5 days.
Oh, congratulations. I actually tried to get P. I was like, you should apply for UPS. I don't care what you do. It's a great company. Years ago.
UPS has been really good. They got really great policies. It's a union job.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I've not had anything really bad happen that hasn't been able to be resolved.
Oh, good. All right, so you called to promote something.
Yeah, so I'm actually doing a little shameless self-promotion.
Good.
I've been streaming for the last few weeks. I've been streaming mostly Nier Automata. I do Final Fantasy 14 reset day every Tuesday.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, we're on the second playthrough of Nier, and it's been great. And definitely follow if that's something you want to do. I think the next game that I'm going to stream is either going to be Persona 5 The Royal or Final Fantasy VII Remake.
So if they wanted to follow you, where did they find you?
That would be twitch.tv/Broly489. And
BROLY.
Yes, and then Twitter is also at Broly489.
Awesome. I know I try to stop by your streams. I'm so bad because like I said, I'm working and I can't do it, but I was like, yay, Broly's streaming. I was like, try to stop by and say hi when I can.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate any of the support. I know, like, I was really happy when Pete raided me yesterday. That was
I didn't
really
know
nice.
that. That's so cool.
Yeah. And yeah, and I'm at 18 followers.
Oh, congrats.
Starting to build up that following and hoping that I'll have it soon.
Oh, that's good. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much, Broly. We appreciate all your support, and anything we can do to support you, we like to do.
I have to add one more comment about UPS because KK said something that's like vital for Vegan Pete is that if you work for UPS, you get to wear shorts.
That is a big plus for me.
He hates pants.
You get to wear shorts any day of the year.
I get to show off my calves.
That's his every day of the year. He's been so happy. Like in 2 weeks, he hasn't put pants on.
Yeah.
Best part.
And they do give you jackets too. You get a lot of free like free shit. Like I've gotten backpacks. I've gotten like a lot of the drivers get like the beanies and stuff. It's really cool. You get a lot of like really interesting like high quality stuff. Like it's not like they just give you a throwaway like drawstring bag that's gonna break in a week.
Damn rope bags. I hate those things so much.
Yeah.
You don't like those con bags?
No.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten a terrible amount, but they do a lot of like stuff where they'll feed you. They'll like, it seems like once a month they're bringing in like enough donuts for the entire warehouse to eat.
Ooh, I miss donuts. Like Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
donuts,
fine.
Little sugary lies.
I love them so much. I mean, I don't even eat them that often, but now that I can't have them, I want them.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's really fulfilling. Like it's been, some days are really difficult, and like some trucks you're handling like over 1,000 pieces or packages in 3 trucks that you're loading, and it can be really stressful. But at the end of the day, you see all the work you've done and you get help. They're not going to like make you run till 11 o'clock. They're going to get you help if you need help. So if anybody is looking for a job, I do encourage you to look for a local UPS job because they're probably like in dire need right now for employees.
That's very true.
I knew someone that used to handle 1,000 packages a day. Her name was Cinnamon.
I knew he was gonna say some shit like that. Knew it.
Well, the official job title for UPS when you're working in warehouse is package handler.
Oh, hell yeah.
Peter, the package handler.
I am a professional package handler that works the preload shift.
That's awesome. Oh, thank you so much for calling in, Broly.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's good talking
Thank you,
with
Broly. Go check him out. Twitch.tv/Broly489.
All right.
Have
Pete's
a good one,
sold.
Broly.
He gets to be a package handler in shorts.
And next we have Chili. Chili, how are you doing today?
I'm not too bad, thank you. How about you?
I am doing good. What do you got for us today?
I'd like to promote my previous episode of Moogle Around, which we recorded last night. Me and Paul had Vari on as a guest. He's a music composer and has done several different covers of Final Fantasy music and Nier type music.
That's
So
really
I
cool.
just want to promote the fact that we had him on the show.
Awesome. And how did that show go?
It went pretty well, thank you. We asked him some questions. We asked him about, why, because he took a break from the game. And we asked him why he decided to come back right now and what his opinions, because he's restarted the game completely. Rather than going back to his old tune, he started from scratch.
That's cool.
So we've seen what he thought of the 2.0 now that he's replaying it.
All right, Chili, and where can they find this podcast?
You can find it at mooglearound.podbean.com, or you can go check our VOD if you want to catch it now, because I've still got to edit and upload it because we upload on Mondays. So you can go check out the VOD as well if you want to go listen to it now. But supposedly there's a lot of Star Wars background sounds on the stream.
I heard a little bit.
There is none of it on my side because I recorded it and I couldn't hear it because my side's Discord didn't pick it up. But
So
supposedly
whose
the
was
stream
it?
has lots of zoom.
Paul's mom was watching Star Wars in the
That's
background.
amazing. Okay, that makes me feel better. I was like, so like, who was like doing something else? But it was like, if it was his mom, that's like legit and amazing and totally allowed because his mom's amazing.
Yeah, Paul's mom's amazing.
Well, good.
Yeah, we've been streaming a lot of Animal Crossing recently. Also, I just want to promote the fact that we've lowered the cost of the Mog Station reward. It used to be 30,000 for a $10 reward on the Mog Station, but now it's 15,000 channel points for 3 people.
Dang, Chili.
And
So
did you tell
it's to
people
celebrate.
what the channel was, Chili? I think you told them to go watch the VOD, but I don't know if you said the channel.
Yeah, go check out She Hills I Tank 5.
You're not gonna get free shit
Moogle Go
there.
Round Radio.
Twitch.tv/Moogle Go Round Radio.
So it's the first 3 people to use 15,000 channel points will get a $10 item on the Mog Station?
Yep, and then it'll go back up to full price.
Oh, okay.
It's to celebrate us getting to 200 followers.
That's awesome. You are so
Congrats,
generous.
Chili.
And again, this is not some .-yx.xyz or whatever it was. This is
Yeah, it's not mild
the
chili
real
pepper.
chili pepper.
Yeah, this is the real one, not the slightly mild.
Thank you so much. So how are you holding up, Chili? Being home, and luckily a lot of your work was remote as it was.
Most of the stuff I do at home anyway. It's just the fact that I can't go out, and most takeaways are shut down, so I can't even have takeaways.
Food. So I've seen.
So have you been learning how to cook?
Yeah.
Well, I've always learned how to cook, but I always like to have one day a week as a treat. Yeah, because I have to cook. Yeah, because I'm on my own. I have to cook every day.
Yeah.
I liked one day where I just went out.
Treat yourself.
Treat
makes
yourself.
Well, that's good. No, I've seen a lot of this past couple of days. I've seen because I like newsletters for like cooking and apartment decor stuff like that, and a lot of them have been coming out with like, if you don't know how to cook and now you're starting, here's a good place for you to start. And so it's been kind of fun seeing
How
this
to
stuff.
boil water.
No, actually, one of the suggestions that I really liked was first start doing things that are like simple, and then another was do something that's really, really difficult and super involved that you're gonna mess up 20 times, and then that way way when you make it and you mess up those 20 times, you'll remember it and you won't mess up those 20 times the next time you need to do that again. And if by chance you happen to do this really intricate, difficult thing and not fuck it up at all, then you're like, bitches, I didn't fuck it up at all. And that was kind of my
favorite thing to make is like Kievs. Because they're kind of complicated, but they're not too bad.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's why I've been enjoying the sourdough bread thing.
That's a cheese stuff something, right?
I normally stuff chicken with garlic butter. And then you use egg to like make a coating of breadcrumbs around it. Because the egg helps the breadcrumbs to stick to the chicken.
That's also like an impress a date kind of meal right there. If you can make a good Kiev and not overcook that chicken.
Also, use like a... damn it, words are hard right now. You know, the wooden sticks.
Chopsticks.
No, cocktail sticks.
No, like toothpicks.
Yeah, toothpick. Yeah, cocktail stick, toothpick.
Skewer.
Like that, so you can seal up where
Hold
the
it
hole
together.
is so the butter keeps it together.
Pete, we watched like it actually is a British show. It was like the British Family Cook-Off. And they had them make Kievs in the challenge when they got like voted off, and then they okay. Well, I watched it. I thought
also,
you were there.
This might sound a bit weird to everyone, but unless you're using a blender, and even then, try and get the bread out of the packaging a little bit earlier, so it goes not completely stale, but a little bit staler. Because making the bread hard will make it easier for it to crumble up.
Chili's making his own breadcrumbs.
Yeah. Also, or, everybody used to not use those little ends of the loaf, you just kind of like didn't deal with those. Save those, let them dry out, and make your breadcrumbs out of those. And then that way you're not wasting anything.
And if you like extra garlic, sprinkle a little bit of garlic into the crumbs.
Delicious.
Butter is always good. You're making me hungry. We didn't actually eat dinner.
All right, Chili. Any shout outs you want to give before we head to the next person?
Shout out to Pete's show on a 6 p.m. my time, or I think it's like early morning. It's a really good show. I've been enjoying it. I'm looking forward to Monday's special episode.
Yep.
Where we're going to have PSA videos.
Exactly. I'll get to that at the end.
He's going to promote it. Thank you, Chili.
Bye, everyone. Go check them out. Go follow Broly, Car Pants, and all that, and Talon Broadbent. Bye.
Bye.
And we'll go around.
All right. And now we have Sakura. How are you doing today, Sakura? How are you holding up?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you guys?
I am good. What do you have for us today?
Well, I've been watching Pete streaming Final Fantasy VIII once in a while.
Okay.
Pretty excited to see that. And I wanted to talk more about Final Fantasy VIII and kind of make it more of a people are kind of like intimidated by the junctioning system. So people don't really like want to play it. They hear, oh, the junction system is such crap and stuff. I not only wanted to bring up FF8, but before I forget anything, I wanted to bring up this is a really good time to pick up some other games, especially like in the Final Fantasy series.
Yeah, if you've never played them before, I definitely recommend it. Even though 8 hasn't been my favorite, I've definitely enjoyed playing through all of them.
Oh yeah, and right now, if you've never played a Final Fantasy game, it's a good time, especially now that we're in. Like Final Fantasy V is a great time sink. Final Fantasy VI, wonderful story. It's just trying to keep people busy with other things, and I know sitting down and playing games a lot is kind of maybe might be a little depressing, or maybe not really what you want to do right now. But if it's something like you're playing Final Fantasy 14 all the time and you want to play something else, pick up a different Final Fantasy game, pick up any other game, So I was trying to put out that even Final Fantasy 12 just came out not that long ago. It's really wonderful game to play.
Yeah, and to bring it back around to 14 really quick, like I've been having a lot of fun playing the classic Final Fantasy games because it's fun. Like when you see a mob that you only knew from 14, you're like, okay, this is where this came from, or this is where this boss came from, and I think that's really cool.
Yes, absolutely, and especially in one of our newer dungeons, there's something from Final Fantasy VIII, and I was just so excited to see that.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely a lot from Final Fantasy VIII is in like recent Final Fantasy 14 right now.
Oh, especially seeing Eden. I mean, we're talking about the Eden raids. Seeing Eden for the first time in something that is not 8 is just wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to see that.
Now
Final Fantasy VIII. Oh, God.
Well, they do say that 14 is actually like the Final Fantasy that's for the fans. Like it's a tribute to all of the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
So I feel like to truly to truly enjoy 14, it like only makes more sense to play all of the other games.
I think you can truly enjoy 14 on its own, but you get a little something extra when you know the history behind it.
You definitely get something extra. I've grown up on the Final Fantasy games. I've been playing them since I was 3-4 years old, and to see the nostalgia in 14 every time gets me all giddy. I'm just like, yeah, that's awesome.
That's what I mean, because I didn't play all of them. I grew up in a household where I had to share the controller. Like I wasn't able to play any Final Fantasy games growing up. So, but to have that is just wonderful. Like whenever you get like you get the feels because of your childhood tie to it. It's wonderful.
Well, I'm player too. Like I always had an older brother, and I was always like, let me play, and he tossed a strategy guide at me, and he was like, you can play if you learn how to read. So I taught myself how to read before I even went to school, because I was like, now you're gonna let me play, huh?
That's cute. Final Fantasy like made you read earlier. That's super cute.
Oh yeah, so that's why I've grown up with it, and I'm very close to Final Fantasy. But so now, before I get into anything, because I lose track very easily, I wanted to talk about Final Fantasy VIII. The one thing that I love about it, and the one thing I can keep going back to it, is Triple Triad. Triple Triad is just so fun and so frustrating.
I will say, like, I haven't done that much Triple Triad in the playthrough that I've been streaming. I did start a second save, and I played a decent amount of Triple Triad in that. Basically, it was only for Triple Triad. And it is very fun. I think I did a little bit on one of these podcasts about how I thought Triple Triad in 8 was much better than in 14.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, that's very cool. It's so time consuming, like everything. I just haven't had the time to do much in the stream playthrough of it.
Yeah. When I was watching the stream, I'm really happy that you're taking the chance to play it and give it a chance. When I saw you in your current stream, I was noticing more side missions weren't really gone through yet, and that's because more so that you're going on your blind walkthrough. You don't really know X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? But it's so crazy how much Final Fantasy VIII really has to offer you. It has such a wonderful story if you really pay attention to it. The beginning's kind of tough, but once you get into it, Disc 2, Disc 3, Disc 4, it's all gold. You know, the extra summons or the GFs in 8, they're great, and getting some of them like Doom Train is just
yeah.
Gotta get all the extra items.
Chat has definitely helped me a lot getting many of the GFs, and I've still missed out on some of them. And I want to go back to what you said about doing side missions. Pretty much on 10, 9, and 8 now, I've pretty much only done the main story for all of them. And and it's actually increased in time that it's taken me to play through all of them. Like 10, I think I completed in about 43 hours or so. And then 9 was like 47. And I think I've already passed 47 now in Final Fantasy 8. So it seems like they're getting longer as I go back. But if you did all the side missions, I would imagine that each one of them probably closer to 100 hours.
8, you could easily spend quite 100, maybe more on it, because you can play the game so differently each time you play it. And that's the thing I like about 8, is how a lot of replayability. You could try to beat the whole game, level 6, never level up.
Yeah.
You can be level 6 for the whole thing. The other thing I wanted to mention, because I saw your characters, I saw one was like level 36 and then one was 23. And the thing about Final Fantasy VIII is it actually works with a sliding scale leveling system. So the mobs will always be the level of your highest level character.
Yeah, I did know that, and I just didn't know how to keep like they keep you away from some of the characters for so long that if you don't like make an effort to go farm just with the lower level characters, you will get that gap. And I wasn't really paying attention to that much.
Well, and that's at the end of the game, when you have access to the Ragnarok, there's an island called Island Closest to Hell and Island Closest to Heaven, I believe, and they're actually the islands where you can get the better draws for your junctions, and those are the places that you really want to level up if you want to. I believe all the monsters are level 100 there. So if you're like 30 something, it's probably not going to be as fun.
Yeah.
But, at least that's something that they put there so that you can do that. And the last thing I wanted to say about it was getting Eden and Bahamut at the end of the game is just, oh, that's rough. When you go to I believe it's the Deep Sea Research Lab, it's a tough spot to even find, and getting there is just it's one of the more tedious parts.
Chat has talked about that C Lab a little bit, so I'm a little bit scared of it. But working my way through. In case anyone doesn't know, I will be streaming that on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific, and we're going to be fighting Ultimisia.
Nice. I am excited. I will definitely be there, and that's really all I have to say. Except for everybody's got to try to stay positive and try to keep yourself busy. Me, I got my kids, so they're gonna keep me busy no matter what. But I know that times are definitely tough for everybody, and picking up a new hobby or doing something new that you didn't think you were gonna do, it's a great time for it, and try to keep yourself uplifted.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Sakura. Do you have any shout outs you want to give before you head off?
Shout out to you guys. You guys are great. I'm glad you're here, and I'm happy to watch the show, and thanks for being here.
Well, thank you so much, Sakura. Have an amazing night.
You too.
Thank you. All right. We got, for some reason, I can't drag her out again, Avi. Can you take care of that? We got one more from someone who couldn't call in today, but they sent me a audio file for their little call-in for the community roundup. We have a little something from Mocha Jones 10.
Hey guys, Mocha Jones here. Sorry I can't be with y'all live. That's for a good reason. I'm practicing right now for Extra Life United. It's a gaming tournament where I can win money for my Children's Spiritual Network Hospital I raised for. It's happening next Tuesday through Thursday, and I'm actually going to be streaming tonight and tomorrow, practicing for some of the games, and hopefully I'll be able to do well enough to win some money for my charity, my hospital. I sent Pete links to my Twitch page so you can come watch, or to my Extra Life page if you want to donate. I do have some games that I'm randomly giving away for $5, so there's that also. So love y'all. Hopefully I'll see y'all, and later, peeps.
That was awesome.
All right, so that is twitch.tv/MochaJones10, and I will also link to his charity page in the show notes, so you can check that out and check out his stream as well.
And thank you, KK, for sharing it. He is currently streaming right now, actually.
Yeah. And the last thing I have for the community roundup is a little bit of self-promotion for me. Since I have been out of work for the past week, I started a little morning or afternoon show called Furloughed with Vegan Pete, and it's going on every weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and it's just a vehicle for everyone to get a little social interaction for their day, share some laughs, talk about what's going on in the world. And on Monday, I've collected a bunch of videos from celebrity PSAs, celebrities doing the little PSA for the Corona COVID-19 thing. And we're going to rate them. We're going to see if they're good, if they're bad, if they're if we thought it was worthwhile of them doing or not.
KK says, I call it After Lunch with Pete.
Yes.
That's cute.
People have been making up their own names for it.
There's been times, because like you said, he wasn't able to record today because I needed to be in the office, and he obviously can't stream while I am on conference calls.
Their real work has to take precedent over my side project.
But he's so loud that I'll have to kind of close the doors, and I'm in the living room, and then my neighbor started mowing the lawn at the same time, and I was trying to listen, and I was like, oh my god, everything around me is so loud. But it was good. We got it taken care of.
So that's definitely been a little bit of therapy for me as well.
It sounded
just
really
being
fun.
able to hang out with all of you. And I think we're going to have a really fun time on Monday. It's going to be supersized episodes because we'll have the videos and we'll have normal stories to go over as well.
And I've been trying to get my computer to be happy and want to be on Wi-Fi again. So hopefully it works out because it's not like a normal computer setup. It's, yeah.
And pretty much all the listener reaction this week was comments on my little sideshow that I've been doing. So we're not going to read them here on the Final Fantasy 14 podcast, but I really thank everyone for giving me such good feedback on that. And if you want to add anything to Furloughed with Vegan Pete, we have a section now on our Discord. So if you want to post any stories you'd like me to cover, you can post them there.
Awesome. So on that note, that is going to be it for this episode. As always, we've enjoyed hanging out with all of you live here on Twitch. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Be sure to hit that follow button so you know the next time we will be going live or when Furloughed with Vegan Pete goes live. And a great big thank you to everyone listening to the podcast through iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, and I know something else came out yesterday. I don't care about it. You really are the reason we keep making episodes.
Pitter patter.
And remember, wherever you do listen, it would mean a shit ton to us if you gave our little shit podcast a rating or a review. Or more importantly, tell a friend to check us out. Here with Vegan Pete, I am Avi Ale, and we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.